Everyone, we're back with another video. I just wanted to make a video going over Noelle. The really rare battles are coming up for Black Clover, Sword Art Online, Bleach Volume 2. So I wanted to make a video on what deck I thought was best for the Black Clover rare battle coming up. So we are going over Noelle. This is the Noelle, Mimosa, and Lolopechka event deck. In my opinion, this deck is the strongest one. Also, there are some other builds that are just purely Asta for red, like Asta Uno. And then there are some hybrid that is Noelle and Asta. In my opinion, this deck works really well just being Noelle and Mimosa, an event deck. So let's get into it, and I'll go over all the cards that I have in my deck. So I'm going to go over all of the character cards first, and then I will go into what events I'm running. So to start it off, we are running 4 of the 0-cost Noelles, which when played, draw a card, then place one from your hand into your sideline, and trigger to draw a card. This card is used as a raid target, and also to get an event in your sideline. So you want to draw, and then place an event into your sideline. That's only really if you need to get to 4, which Noelle's raid needs 4 events to be at its strongest power. So that's just worst case scenario, you can't get to 4. In this deck, I've never really had those issues, but early game, if you want to apply pressure, that's a great way to do it. And then we are running 4 of the 0 Mimosas. This is just a regular 0 cost, but it is an add to hand, and this is for the raid Mimosa. Next, we are running 4 of the 0 Lolopechkas. If you have 4 or more events in your sideline, this character gains 1,500 BP, and trigger is to draw a card. This is a great card if you just want to push it up off your energy line when you have 4 events and get a 3k body on your front line to either block or just to apply some pressure and get some early swings in. So we are running 4 of those. And then we do have 4 of the color trigger here. This is the 1-cost Noelle. You can activate her main if she's on the front line, and you can only activate this if you use an event card, which is highly likely. And then you look at the top card of your deck and place it on top or into sideline. Then we have the color trigger. Choose one character with 2,500 or less BP on your opponent's front line and sideline it. This card is good for searching for certain things. So early game, if you're looking for your Noelle raid or your Mimosa raid or a certain event, you can look at the top, and if you see a card that you don't want at that moment, just put it in your sideline. So we are running 4 of the colors. Then we are running 2 of the 2-cost Noelles. This card I'm still iffy about. It works really well in the deck for right now. I'm still testing. This was an insert that I put in after the fact. It's a raid target for Noelle, which is great, and it does help with the curve between 0, 1, and then 3. And then the only issue, it doesn't have a trigger, and one play draw a card, which is good, and it is a raid target. It's just not extremely useful, but I have it right now. It works. We're still testing that since I recently put it in, but that's what I have it at right now. And then we are running 2 of the 3 cost Mimosas. This is a double energy generator, which is very useful because you do need at least a double on your back line to raid the Noelle. So this Mimosa is also a raid target too for the Mimosa raid, but it's look at the top 4 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 red event among them, and add it to your hand. Place the remaining cards on the bottom of your deck. If you added a card, place one from your hand to your sideline. That's the only downside to running some of these searchers is when you add a card to your hand, you have to sideline something. It's not the worst, but if you have a fire hand and you don't want to get rid of something, but you also draw or search for something that you need. So the good thing about Mimosa is that she does take character cards back into your hand. So if worst case, if you have to sideline a character card, you can always get it back with her raid. And then along with the next card that I'm going to show, this Lolopechka. So there are ways to get stuff from your sideline back into your hand, but it always does kind of suck having to sideline something when you add a card off of a surge. All right, and then next we have the 3 cost Noelle. This is from the starter deck. I am running 3. It has an active trigger and it is a double energy generator. And then this card also has step. And if you place 1 card from your hand into your sideline, it gains 1,000, so it becomes a 4K. This also is another raid target. Desperate times, you will raid on a double energy generator, but it is really good to have this as an extra body too. You can keep it on your back line for energy to get the raid Noelle up, and then push it up, swing with it, make it a 4K, swing with it, and then push it back down for energy again, which is great. So this is a really strong card. I am running 3. And then this is the Lolopechka that I was talking about. This is the 4-drop Lolopechka. It has Nullify Impact, which is really important. Most decks nowadays in this current meta, you really want at least 1 or 2 cards with a Nullify Impact on it. It does change the game. So this is my Nullify Impact of the deck. And when played, you may place 1 card from your hand into your sideline. If you do, you can add a red event card from your sideline to your hand. So that is also really important. A lot of these event cards are useful. And since it does say 2 or less, you can actually take your special back into your hand, which is kind of insane. So I am running 3 of that. And then we are going to go into the raids. So I am running 3 raid Mimosas in this deck. When played, draw a card and then choose one of the following. You can reduce the AP cost of your next event card with 2 or less required energy you use from your hand this turn by 1. Or you may place 1 event card from your hand into your sideline. If you do, add up to 1 red character with 1 AP cost from your sideline to your hand. So this raid card is very useful to play an event for free, which you need to play an event for the Noelle raid. So you can raid Noelle and then raid the Mimosa, play an event for free, and it lets you do a lot of actions within your turn. So when an event gets played that turn, Noelle gains 1,000 and impact the raid. So this card combos really well with the Noelle raid. And then worst case, if your Noelle does get sidelined from your opponent, you can actually take it back from your sideline. If you can't find one, you've been, digging through your deck, can't find one, and you just want to get your Noelle raid back up, you can get it back from your sideline. So I'm running 3 of these. I know some builds run 4 and 4, 4 Mimosa and 4 Noelle. Some people at my locals do say I'm a little crazy for only running 3, but I think it just works, especially being able to bring the Noelle raid back. But also this deck is really fast, so you want to end the game early. So I don't feel like there's a need to have 4 of each. Just playing with 3, it just seems like the sweet spot for this deck, because I am running a lot of event cards, which allow you to search a lot into your deck. So I think 3 is a sweet spot, and that's what works for me. You know, it's not going to always work for everybody, but this is what I feel like is the best for this deck. So I am running 3 of the Noelle also, and this card, if you have used an event card this turn, this character gains 1000 BP and impact until the end of turn. When played, this character gains all abilities listed below until the end of turn. If you have the required number of event cards in your sideline, so 2 or more, this character cannot be blocked by a character with 3000 or less BP, and 4 or more, your opponent must block this character's attack if able. So this card is definitely the strongest out of the whole deck. You want this up, and you want it to stay up, because while this whole chunk here is only when played, you can use the special to add these effects back onto this card, which is amazing, actually, because when you use the special, it counts as an event for this, so you also gain the impact. And then you want to recycle that event card as many times as you can, you know, using the Lolopechka, adding the event card back to your hand, or using a search to search for an event. So you want to keep just adding, this character cannot be blocked by a character with 3000 or less, and you want to keep blocking, keep adding your opponent must block this character attacks if able. Forcing a block is very similar to Purple Code Geass with the Gawain and everything. It is very scary, and it is very damaging, so that's why I really like this deck. That's why I think it does really well. Purple Code is, you know, very meta right now, so that's why I think this deck will work really well for the rare battles, especially because of just how quick this deck is and how fast it moves, and just how much actions you can do within your turn, just doing stuff for free, and utilizing as many of the event cards. So once again, a lot of people at my local think I'm crazy because this stack is literally just event cards. This is like half the deck is just event cards, but all of the event cards are really useful, so we will go into that and just how I use the event cards for this deck. So first, we are running 4 of the AP Razor. Choose up to 2 of your AP cards, switch them to active. That's also your final, so we are running 4 of those. And then next we are running 4 of the Valkyrie armor, which is the special of this deck. So like I said, you want to grab this card as much as possible and continue to add this to your Noelle, so that way she gains the impact, but also you choose 1 character on your field, it gains 2500 BP. This character cannot be blocked by a character with 2500 or less until the end of turn. If the chosen character is Noelle Silva, it also gains your opponent must block this character's attack if able. So it is very similar to the one played on this card. The only slight change is it's 2500 BP instead of 3000, so it does lower that threshold a little bit. You don't have to use this card on the Raid Noelle, but it is similar to the when played. So let's just say you raid the Noelle, and you have its when played ability. If you have this in your hand also and you want to do more damage, you can add this to any other Noelle card. You can literally add it to the 1 cost. You can add it to the 3 cost, even the 0 cost, because it does gain 2500 VP. So if you take this card, for example, it is 2,500 BP, so when you add that, it becomes 5k, and you must block it, and it cannot be blocked with a character 2,500 or less. So it is a very strong special, especially when, you know, you raid, like I said, the Noelle, you get that effect, and then you use this on a different card. So now it's essentially like for that one turn, you have 2 raid Noelles up. That's why I also feel like it's not necessary for 4 of this card when you have this card and you can recycle it and you can use it on other Noelles. Next, we have 4 of the All-Knowing Priestess card. This card is really very useful, actually. This is also another card that I grab out for events all the time. This allows you to do a lot of more actions during your turns. So I do run 4 of these. What it does, you look at the top 2 cards of your deck, reveal 1 card among them and add it to your hand. Place the remaining card on the top of your deck. If the card you revealed was Noelle, Mimosa, or Lolopechka, or an event card 2 or less, choose one of your AP cards and switch it to active. So the reason why this card is amazing is because you're searching for literally every card in this deck. I don't think you can miss, except if you grab 2 of your AP Razors, which there's always a possibility for, but literally every single card you meets the requirement of this All-Knowing Priestess card, which allows you to switch your AP to active. And that makes or breaks a lot of stuff, because if you use this for your last AP, just to search and see what you can find, and you grab a Noelle raid, you switch your AP to active, and you can literally then use the extra AP to raid the Noelle. So there is a lot of uses for that card, along with just using it for the event trigger. So I do get to 4 events in my sideline really, really quickly, because I'm always using an event in all of my turns. Mostly also because I maxed out all of the events in my deck, but all right. And then the last event that I'm running 4 of is Sea Dragon's Lair. This card acts as a protection for mostly your Noelle raid. Choose 1 character on your front line. It gains your opponent cannot choose this character with abilities on characters' abilities on event cards or trigger abilities until the start of your next turn. If Noelle Silva is on your field, choose up to 1 of your AP cards and switch it to active. So again, you're essentially using this card for free, and it meets Noelle's requirement to gain impact, and it also protects her. So if you raid your Noelle, use this, it protects her for your attack and your opponent's attack. So they can't special her as soon as you get her up, and they can't special her when they hit a special out of life. So this card is really useful, because one of my bigger pet peeves is getting a raid up, and as soon as you get the raid up, they just either special it or just pull a special from life, and it's gone. You know, might have used all of your energy trying to push that raid up, and then they just special it. So this card is great, and you can use it for free essentially, so it's just free protection on your raid. And then the last card that I run in this deck is 2 of the Undines. This is a sight, and it also has double energy, which is very important because, like I said before, you need at least 2 energy to get to 5, like a 2 energy card to get to 5. So between this, the Mimosa, and the Noelle, you want to at least have 1 of these on your back line, so that way you can get your raid up. But this sight is useful because it acts like the Noelle. You can switch this to resting and activate its ability. If a Lolopechka is on your field, you look at the top card of your deck and place it on top or sideline, just like the Noelle. So there is a lot of turning over this deck and searching through it. So this is just an added way to do that, along with getting the 2 energy. this card is also debated in this deck. Some people run it, some people don't. I think it is very useful. There are not a lot of double energies. You can always max out the Noelle or just max out the Mimosa, but I like having a site that lets me do something each turn, so that's why I am running 2 of it. Alright, thanks guys for watching. This is my deck list. I will be linking this deck list in the description on Xburst. So if you want to build it or make some changes to it, I will link it down below. But in my opinion, this is the best setup for a rare battle that's coming up. And if you are excited for that and you are thinking about building this deck, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, thanks for watching and see you on the next one.